I don't want it to be... Did my video just reset? I think it did. I really don't want to chop this video up into 2 pieces. Anyway, what I was saying is, I hope that, I really hope that video didn't just cut off. But anyway. So, the thing is that, what I don't want to happen is, I don't want to have like an incredible, I don't want to try to do, I'm trying to have 5 minutes of material that's really, really great and submit it for this festival, this up in Montana. But I don't, if it's like a crappy crowd or they're just not responsive or not listening or anything, I'm talking about the crowd, just the crowd itself, then I would have to be forced to use something older, and I have 5 minutes of older stuff, but I want 5 minutes of newer stuff. And I don't mean newer material, I just meant like dated newer. Because actually in my video, I say something about 2018 one time. It was like late 2018 that I said it. And I don't want them thinking like, oh, does he still do comedy, blah, 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 whatever. So that's my goal. I'll be doing comedy this Thursday. It'll be a 10-minute set. And I'm working on having an explosive 10 minutes. But they're only going to listen to the first 5 minutes. That's what I really got to kill the most on. So that's what I'm working for. Aside from that, I had a really weird situation that happened to me recently. Actually, just a couple days ago. So that was recent as recent can get. You know, when it comes to comedy and free speech and all this other stuff, look, I would never say something and be offensive towards somebody on purpose. If there were 100 people in an audience, and one of them got offended, that's not my intention. My goal is the 100, not even the 99. I want to make you the person that was that one person out of 100 not offended and make them laugh. But I had somebody basically tell me something that I said, and this is the first time they really were offended, was racist. Now, here's the thing. I take that back. It wasn't racist. They said it made minorities feel uncomfortable. Funny thing is, all the black people loved it. They were laughing, but it made this one person really, it didn't make them feel comfortable. And the joke wasn't even about black people. It was about my wife. It was about the fact that my wife is a foreign legal resident, and how she has a funny nickname that when you say it in English, it translates to something that's inappropriate in English. But if you say it in Portuguese, it's perfectly fine. That's what it was. 100%. I can't really do anything that about the fact that someone might be offended, and you can't live a life on the conditions of not doing or doing something based off the fact that you might offend somebody. Now, I told my wife that one time. She was like, what should I do? I said, well, you can do whatever you want, but perfect example, black people, African American. All right, if you say black people, everybody knows who you're talking about. And I've had friends of mine that served in the U.S. Army that are black, and if you call them African American, you know what the first thing they would say is, they'd say, I'm not African, I'm American. They wore that flag just like everybody else. They were proud to serve, and they referred to themselves as an American first, not African. I knew another girl, specifically in the Army, I'm not going to say who, but if you ever called her African American, she got really offended, because she wasn't from Africa. She actually was from the Caribbeans, and they have black people there. Now, you can always say, hey, you know, well, black people came from Africa. You know what? Do one of those 23andMe. Apparently everybody has a little bit of African. I see what people are saying, but I think if black people want the right to them for themselves to call themselves black, they can. They want to call themselves African American, they can do that too. I don't care. But just pointing out the fact that you can't even say black without making people that prefer the term African American offended, or you can't say African American without offending people that that prefer the term black. So that's completely outside of my wheelhouse, and that's not even a joke that I've ever said. That's just like an observation. All right, here's another one. Perfect example. I look like a freaking Anglo-Saxon crusader, whatever you want to say. I'm Caucasian as all hell. All right. If I say something in a German accent, it's perfectly fine. If I say it in a Russian accent, it's perfectly fine. If I say a thing in a Spanish accent, perfectly fine. Well, maybe, you know, more than likely, but it's just an accent. And why? It's because that's how the accent sounds like. But I've had black guys that I know that are comedians, and myself, that we have a couple different jokes that have to do with an Asian person talking. When you do that Asian accent, sometimes people can get offended. So it's like, even accents are off limits. It's like, listen, that's what people sound like in that part of the world. If I do a Russian accent and I'm not living in that area, that's not offensive. But I do. So what accent, so what countries am I allowed to like use an accent for? You see what I'm saying? So anyway, somebody was just offended at oh, and there's actually two things. There's one of the things that I said having to do with my wife that was not offensive, that they got offended to. And the second one, they didn't say, but I'm pretty sure it was in relation to an accent that I used for another joke, having to do with an Asian person talking about my doctor. Oh, no, excuse me, dentist. No. Having to do with my dentist, who's a Korean dentist. And you know what Korean people talk like that are from Korea? They talk like they have a Korean accent. That's the whole thing. And it's funny the way he acts, because my dentist, he is a Korean guy, but he acts like he is from the hood. I'm telling you, I love that guy. He is the best. He's funny. He's hilarious. I got him a Christmas gift and everything. Don't get it twisted. And I even told him I was going to use him in my act. And he's a great guy. But if I use the Asian accent, then all of a sudden, you know, there's just something that's weird about accents that people laugh about. You know, people really like it, and they laugh a lot when I use my Russian accent, when I use like a German accent, or British accent. That's another one people laugh at. I don't believe it's specifically the fact that you're making fun of a country. You're just saying that's how they talk. So anyway, I just wanted to address that. That's what's going on. Next events I got an open mic this Thursday. I'm not going to be going to the one tomorrow because the person that I heard back from, I don't have any problems with. I don't want the, I'm just not going to go to that spot anymore. And it wasn't even, in all fairness, it wasn't even a comedy place. It was like a poetry place. And they loved my stuff, but one person got offended, and nowadays in 2019, that voice of one matters more than everybody else. So I can talk about it at length. And that's actually part of the reason that I'm glad I moved from DC, because DC, the minority, and minority is the term of black, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying minority as in like the non-majority, you know? Vote, so to speak, of whatever the issue is, goes far beyond what the majority of the populace says. Even if there was like 10 black people in a room, one black person didn't like said something that the other 10 were all saying, all those people could get in trouble in the workplace. And it's ridiculous. I'm taking one group of people, all black. I say black, I don't say African American, whatever. And I've actually seen stuff and heard stuff like that have happened, both in my area, around me, and to others that were friends of mine in DC. So it's a crazy world out there, but you know what I'm going to do with that information? I'm going to take it, move on, and not look at it again. I'm just going to drive forward to the mission. And that's it. That's all I can really do, because I'm not going to worry about what other people say or think, because they know my intentions are true. If people getting kind of relax my car for a moment. If people come out to see comedy, they know what to expect, or that they may be offended, but more than less, they know that it's coming out of a place of love, because it's not like a hate rally. You know what I'm saying? It's a gathering of people to spread love and joy. That's comedy for you. You know, no one ever said I want to feel really shitty, so I want to go to a comedy show. I mean, come on, dude. What are you talking about? So, anyway, I just want to address that. Not letting it affect me, but it did happen. Some recent news. I'm excited to find out about the news about the comedy festival in Montana. And for the very few viewers that I got out there now, this is just more of a progress report and update for some stuff going on in my life. I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, definitely hit like on the like button, and subscribe to always watch my videos. That way you can always see my updates. Thank guys. I love you a lot. Have a great one. And that's it. I'm Benja Welldone. Keep it classy. Oh, and my Instagram, if you want to check that out, it's Benja, Benja, Welldone, Welldone. Have a great one. See you guys. I'm out. Peace.